Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite girl, NJ. Okay guys, so today I want to talk about something very real. That part of marriage that nobody really talks about. We hear so much about the beauty of marriage, love, companionship, partnership, but there are parts most people don't share either because they're private or because they don't know how to express it. So today, I really want to be honest. Now, before marriage, we all have this picture in our heads. We imagine how we should look, how we should feel, how our partners should act. We think love alone will carry everything. But then when we enter, we realize something. Marriage is not a movie. It is two real human beings with history, habits, flaws, differences, trauma, cultures, upbringing, coming together to build one life. And nobody prepares you for how challenging that blending can be. Now, one of the parts people don't talk about is this. Marriage will expose you to you. Marriage will expose the parts of you didn't know needed work. Your patience will be tested, your communication will be challenged, your understanding will be stretched, and sometimes you face parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed. There are days when you feel misunderstood, days when you don't agree, days when the person you love the most is the person frustrating you the most. But it doesn't mean something is wrong, no. It just means that marriage is real and not a fantasy. Now, see, you can love someone so much and still struggle with how differently you both see life sometimes. And those moments don't mean you marry the wrong person. It just shows that marriage is not automatic, it is intentional. I know that we've heard this many times, and truly, honestly, it's true. Love in marriage is not always butterflies. Sometimes it's choosing to understand when you're tired. Sometimes it's forgiving even when you feel hurt. And sometimes it's learning that silence isn't peace. Communication is. And sometimes it's realizing that your partner is not your enemy. You're both just trying in your own ways. Marriage forces you to grow. It teaches you how to love deeply, but also wisely. Now, another thing nobody talks about is the adjustment. Marriage means adjusting your routine, your mindset, your expectations. You're not just thinking, what do I want? You're thinking, what is best for both of us. Sometimes your partner's style is different from yours. One person is expressive, the other is quiet. One person is organized, the other is spontaneous. One communicates directly, the other communicates emotionally. Nobody tells you how confusing those differences can feel at first. Nobody tells you that learning your partner is a lifetime journey. Now, let's be honest, okay? There are days when you feel deeply loved. Days when you feel supported and appreciated, but there are also days when you might feel unseen or unheard. Not because your partner does not care, but because they are human too. They also have their own emotions, stress, pressures, and silent battles. And when two people with different emotional needs come together, there will be misunderstandings. That's normal. What matters is how you navigate those moments with respect, patience, and a willingness to grow. Now, one of the hardest parts of marriage is the sacrifice nobody talks about. Sometimes you sacrifice your comfort, sometimes your pride, sometimes your old habits, sometimes your stubbornness. Not because you're losing yourself, okay, but because partnership requires compromise. And trust me, compromise is not always easy. We all know that. It's not glamorous at all. It's not Instagram perfect. But it is very necessary. All things considered, the beautiful part that makes it all worth it? Growth. Marriage makes you grow. It softens certain areas and strengthens others. You learn patience, you learn maturity, you learn how to love with intention and not just emotions. You learn that love is a daily choice, sometimes easy, sometimes hard, but always meaningful. And when both partners are willing, when both partners communicate, when both partners apologize, when both partners give effort, marriage becomes one of the most beautiful forms of companionship. And if I'm being honest, marriage has taught me a lot. It has taught me that nobody is perfect. People love differently. You cannot expect your partner to read your mind. We know ourselves on this table, right? And also, peace is something you both create daily. It's very intentional. Marriage is very intentional. It has also taught me that you don't lose yourself. You just learn how to blend your individuality with partnership. And honestly, that balance is one of the hardest but most beautiful parts. Okay, so now my honest advice about marriage. Don't enter marriage expecting perfection. Enter with openness, with humility, with willingness to learn each other, with grace, with patience, with communication, with forgiveness, but most importantly, enter with love that is ready to grow, not just love that feels sweet today. Very important. Marriage is not a fairy tale, it's a journey. And if you and your partner are truly committed, it can be one of the most rewarding journeys you'd ever take. So if you're married or preparing for marriage or just curious, please understand, marriage is beautiful, but it is intentional work. It requires maturity, it requires grace, and it requires choosing the person every single day, even on the days that feel heavy. And if you and your partner are willing to grow, communicate, forgive, and understand each other, then marriage can be one of the most fulfilling journeys ever. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say on the topic. I just felt like, I needed to come out here and do the Lord's work. Listen, I have been married for over 4 years now, and I believe that I have earned the right to speak of marriage. Earlier on in my YouTube career, I didn't really feel so comfortable talking about marriage and all that because, sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, Angel, you've only been married for 6 months. Isn't it you that got married last year? Things like that. But now I've been married for 4 years, and honestly, when I look back at the journey, how my husband and I started and where we are right now, I am so proud. I feel so proud and I feel so blessed. Truly, the one thing you can be sure of in marriage is growth. You grow in so many ways, and I'd like to report that I have grown in so many ways, and I'm really happy. I believe that we're in the right direction, right? We're taking the right steps, to grow in our marriage and making our bond, stronger and all that good stuff. So yeah, please let's chit chat in the comments section. If you're married, please tell us how long you've been married and the things that you've done or steps you've taken to make your marriage even stronger, keep the train moving peacefully, and if you're not married yet, share with us the things that you've heard about marriage and how to make your marriage strong and all that good stuff. See, we learn every day, and who knows, I could learn a thing or two because, come on, it's just 4 years. My husband and I have, a long way to go. Okay, so I'm really open to just learning things to make our marriage even stronger and to share it with, the man that married me as well. And I'm sure he'll be in the comment section, so please share. I've honestly grown so much, these past 4 years. I've become more understanding, more accommodating, more patient, even as patient as I thought I was before I got married. I'm even more patient now with not just, family members or my husband, but with just everybody all around. And it's just wonderful. It's really wonderful to see, and I am so happy. I remember I shared something on YouTube, some years ago or something about something, and a disagreement over something that I had with my husband. I can't even remember right now. It just feels so unimportant right now, and I'm glad to report that we don't have such let's say baseless misunderstandings anymore, like over nothing. Do you get? Like, we've gotten to that stage when we understand each other so much that such little things don't cause any disagreements anymore. Does that make sense? Anyway, so yeah, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video if you've gotten, value from it. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.